Nice to see you again and be back live. I want to talk about some things. This is part two of how to pass your test in 2021. It's been a while since I've seen all of you, so let's go ahead and get it. A lot of beginning drivers fail to use their signal. When you're making a directional lane change, you've got to turn on your blinker. If you're making a lane change to the left, which is down, you turn on your blinker, mirror, turn signal, and you check your blind spot, and then you cancel the blinker. The next part of the decision is failing to come to a complete stop. You have to make a complete stop for 3 seconds. You check a rear mirror, and then you look left and right, and then you proceed with the caution. A lot of beginning drivers also stop unnecessarily. If you're on your road test, the expectation is you know how to drive, you've been there before, you're making good decisions, and then you stop completely and you look and check traffic. Next, you tend to stare at the speedometer too much. If you stare at the speedometer too much, you're going to end up looking down and not looking ahead. You really need to scan ahead, look ahead, and anticipate what traffic is doing. Next one is poor spacing. You pull out in front of oncoming cars. That's a sure way to fail your road test and put yourself into a dangerous situation. You will be stressed because you will be taking your road test, because you're going to have a person sitting next to you evaluating you. And every single mistake you make will go up to a total. And hopefully you're under the total by the time you come back. And then when you get back to the DMV or road test facility, you pass. The next common mistake, when you come up to a railroad track, you have to look left, right, and left. Pause for a second, look left, right, and left, and then proceed on. The next is improper clutch. In some locations, particularly with my brothers and sisters in England and Australia, they do not use the clutch properly, and then you're bucking and surging the car. So you definitely don't want to do that. You want to have those things in that timing correct. You want to properly engage that clutch. You want to accelerate smoothly, and then you want to shift gears properly. So that's really important. Timing. When you're making a right turn, are you carrying too much speed into your turn? I remember looking at one of my comments, how much speed do you need to have? 10, 8 miles an hour. You want to go into your turn smoothly. You want to look left, right, and left, and you want to go into that turn. And I did a survey. The overwhelming majority of people said their instructor taught them to turn hand over hand. Is there more than one way to turn? Of course, there's more than one way to turn. But for your road test, your DMV test, you want to have both hands on the wheel, and you want to have control of that vehicle. I didn't say put your thumbs on the airbag, but I simply said you have to have good control. Next, I mentioned not looking at the speedometer too long. You do not want to look down. You want to look up. You want to aim high and look ahead. Next, you've got to look at the big picture. Analyze traffic. Are cars changing left? Are cars changing right? Are they speeding up? Are they slowing down? You want to maintain a proper space cushion. I appreciate the thumbs up. And when you have a proper space cushion, wide turns, you want to reduce your speed. A lot of time drivers go into turns too fast. And then you want to reduce your speed, because if you go into a turn too fast, centrifugal force will pull you to the outside of the turn. If you're making a right, if you're making a left, it will pull you to the right. So you've got to reduce your speed, go into your turn slowly, and then accelerate smoothly out of the turn. If you're driving a manual, you're going to be in there first gear, then you're going to push that clutch in, put in second gear and accelerate smoothly. And then you want to push that clutch in and accelerate to third. So I will be doing some content on driving manuals. We were talking about timing. You want to turn in your signal 100 feet, a half a block if you're making a right turn or a left turn. You want to get into the proper turn lane. If you turn it on too late, cars behind you would not have time to slow down. And if they don't have time to slow down, you're going to create a hazard. So your DMV tester, road tester is looking for you to have good control, to make good decisions. You want to make sure your wheels are straight, because when you're making a left turn, if you get rear-ended, you're going to be knocked forward. If your wheels are turned before you make the left turn and you're yielding to traffic, you get rear-ended, you're going to be knocked into oncoming cars, right? Poor lane tracking is where you're kind of hugging the right or you're hugging the left. You want to have balance control of your vehicle. You want to maintain good control of your vehicle. You do this by looking ahead, and aiming high. Just like I'm looking ahead now, you want to aim high and have both hands on the wheel. We talked about the rules of the right of way. That is another common situation where drivers panic. The first car to get there is the first car to leave. The right of way can be given also. Also, merging on the expressway, you want to get up to speed on that ramp, you want to accelerate up to speed, check your mirror, turn signal, and blind spot. And then you get on that ramp and you accelerate and go. Don't hesitate. If you hesitate, you're going to cut off traffic, you're going to lose points, but it's all timing. Okay. Also, you want to make sure that you're edging smoothly. Any tips on speed control? Um, so what you need to do is press that gas pedal and hold it. You want to glance and check your speed. Great question. If you are drive, say the speed limit is 55 and you're not sure, people are driving 60 on your road test, you have to drive at the speed limit. If it's 60, you got to drive 58, 59. If it's 55, you got to drive 54, 53. You cannot go over speed. So speed controls, you've got to hold your foot on that pedal and just gradually hold it, check your speed. If you push harder, you'll increase. Speed control is one of the biggest things beginning drivers struggle with. If you've been practicing with mom and dad or your uncle or auntie, maybe you got a cool uncle, hey, come on, I'll let you drive my car. Then get that practice. If you're in a neighborhood, it's 25, but I would be driving 15, 17, 18 miles an hour. I'm in North America. We've had a lot of crazy snow. If you've seen some of my content, if the speed limit is 70 on the expressway, we're at 55 miles an hour. We're at 45 miles an hour. You have to drive at a speed that is reasonable and safe for the conditions. So for your road test, you've got to practice getting that speed perfect. And it takes practice. If you don't practice that and you just go to that test subconsciously, you're going to end up driving over speed. That's a great question. I do have I'm going to post a Zoom link, Google Meet in the chat soon, and maybe we could, get that going too. I also have a Google number too. So expect once this is over, I'll post a link in my community, and then maybe we could do a Google Meet. So I think that'd be great to meet some of you. Go ahead and post some more questions. The biggest thing I think is just feeling comfortable in your test, because you will be nervous. Your heart is going to be pounding, and you just got to take a deep breath. This person is going to evaluate you. You have a prescribed course to go on. They're going to take you in neighborhoods. They're going to take you on the expressway or highway. And because of COVID, they may shorten this, because I've been reading a lot of comments and looking at a lot of things on different testers across the United States. Because of COVID, they've really modified the test. You're just in the parking lot doing reverse parallel parking, 3-point turnarounds. Maybe you drive through the cones and you reverse park in. So it really varies on what state you live in and where COVID is. So it is important. And I'm a frontline worker. I did a special on COVID, and I'll do another one. I had my first COVID shot, and I was a little bit nervous, but I got my shot, and I'm a school teacher, I'm a coach, I'm a driver's ed instructor. So I want to protect myself from my students and want my students to feel safe. I'm doing really good. I'm a road test tomorrow. It snowed today. Yeah, you'll be going about 25, right? As long as the conditions aren't bad, they will be conducting road tests. They might just have you basically get on the expressway, get off, make some right turns, make some left turns, because when North America, okay, I'm in the Northeast, right? It's been a lot of snow, like 10 inches, 12 inches, 21 degrees. It's been really cold. So these road testers and driving facilities, they're there to work and make money. But if the weather is really bad, they have to cancel tests. They lose revenue, they lose income. But they'll clean up the testing area. You'll do your parking. And then if you're able to go on the expressway, you'll get on, you'll get off, they'll evaluate you, you'll get on and off again, they'll evaluate you. And if you're satisfactory, you'll get a good score. If you won't, then you'll get a lower score. You'll make a right turn. You got to look left, right, left. You've got to turn hand over hand and accelerate through the turn. If you go out of your lane, you'll get a minus. They're going to ask you to make a lane change. Make a lane change to the left. Mirror, turn signal, blind spot. You've got to look over your shoulder. If you don't, you'll get a minus, right? The big ones are running lights. That's an automatic fail. A funeral procession, you cross that, automatic fail. You cause an at fault accident, automatic fail. So you need to practice those fundamentals. If you got an auntie, an uncle, older brother, sister, a lot of us are still working from home because of COVID. I'm working from home because of COVID. You've got to get your practice because you'll forget when you get out there in that snow and ice. It makes everyone slow way down. You've seen my content. I've done some GoPro stuff. I call it the ball headed cam, right? But I have the GoPro on, right? And a lot of you say, hey, that's great content. I'm going to keep pumping that content out. I'm also going to be doing some YouTube shorts, 1 minute reverse parallel park, 1 minute 3-point turnaround. Leave comments. Tell me what you want, and I'll make that for you because I'm about giving you good content, really showing you what you need, helping you be successful. And I do have a Google number in the chat, so you can reach out to me. Also, I'm going to post tonight. I'm going to swing up and do something a little bit different. I'm going to post a Google Meet links in the comments. After this, I'll talk for about another minute. Thank you for the thumbs up. But I'm going to post a Google Meet link in the chat. And then would you recommend just constantly practicing to be prepared for the parking segment? Yes, 100%. Go into parking lots, church parking lots, school parking lots, doing that hand over hand in, hand over hand out, reverse parking, pulling in between spots. That's how you really feel comfortable, because if you're a high school student and you don't park right, guess what? Your friends are going to talk about you, and then your car will be sideswiped. If you're an adult, you taking your girl or your boy downtown, you're going to have to parallel park, and there are people waiting outside. And if you can't parallel park, they're kind of going to laugh at you. If you're up on the curb, that's a ticket. You got to be 12 inches or less away. When my students park, I wear size 14. I get out, I put my foot out between the car and the door, and I check. So you've got to make sure you work on those fundamentals. Whether you get tested or not, when you go to the DMV, you got to have those things perfected. Be consistent, hand over hand in, practice backing in your driveway, practice pulling out. Now it varies on the backup camera. I've read some things, they might let you use it, they might not. Practice without the use of the backup camera. And a lot of cars have park assist. The car that we've been using now is a 2021 Trailblazer, and it's got a backup camera, but you got to practice looking left and right, because you could back over a little kid, you could back into your mailbox, you could back into your neighbor's car. So you really got to work on those fundamentals every day till you feel natural pulling into an angle park position, say at the mall, pulling into a stall park position, say at a store. And then a big one, when you go to a downtown area and people are watching you, you got to pull up next to a car, you got to do the reverse parallel park. And I'll do some more content on that. I have a lot of content, right? While I'm backing, would you recommend that yes, you put your hand on the passenger seat? Yes. And then I got a steering wheel right here, right? So you put your hand at the top of the steering wheel over the back of the seat. And then when you back up, you're looking. You got to look out the back window. Sure, 2016, 17, 18, 19, they have a backup camera, but you can't always rely on the backup camera, right? And tips, you can't get one hand and throw the steering wheel like that, because you're going to lose control. You can't put your hands to the bottom of the steering wheel, because you'll make that steering wheel small. So you got to look over your right shoulder, back up straight, and then turn, appropriately, whether it's left or right. So yes, by all means, I love the questions. I could tell a lot of you are getting mentally prepared. You've been looking at some of my content. Subscribe to the channel and tell me where you are in the world, right? So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go ahead and post a Google Meet link in the community section of my webpage. And then we can talk one-on-one. I can see you, you can see me. So I just want to say thank you. You're awesome. And I will go live again soon. So bye.